Hi. So, Candace Owens, what's she doing these days? You know, probably something normal, probably not something completely unhinged. Let's see what she's up to these days. Oh no, she went on Bill Maher. A combination of two things I hate. Bill Maher and Candace Owens. This should be a lot of brain rot. Let's see.
There was.
But do you believe people landed on the moon?
Well, let's just back
Because
that
if
up.
you don't,
because you're
then
going,
I think that's
no.
I think that
You
really
are
sets a
taking-
standard
Wait,
for
what?
this discussion.
You are taking something that was a Twitter
You can't answer it?
joke. I'm going to answer your question,
Okay.
but I'm just trying because I think you should add context because what you're doing now is you're jumping away from an actual meaningful discussion about climate change and the hoax that's surrounding it and making people fearful to have children.
Yo, okay, so Candace Owens is just pivoting into flat eartherism. Is that am I getting that right? Am I getting that right? She's saying NASA's telling us lies. We can't believe the climate change. Earth is flat. I can see it. It's the next step.
And you're all going, well, didn't you once tweet when I said, literally, I said in the tweet, let's have some fun today. What is one conspiracy theory that almost got you and that you think like could possibly be real? And I said the one that always gets me every time is the moon landing. How come we haven't gone back? So you're taking this one tweet where people
What? We went back to the moon. We've been back to the moon. How many times did we land on the moon? Literally 6 different times.
then shared the things that they think that were not really serious or political on this long thread to now apply to a conversation about climate change.
Okay, but just to
That
be
feels a
clear,
little like,
people did land on the moon.
I don't know.
Okay, there
What?
we go.
I don't know.
I do know.
I just want to know why we didn't go back.
We did go back.
Did we go back? What year?
To the moon?
I can't believe I'm Candace Owens is so bad, she's making me happy that Bill Maher can actually yell at someone for not believing in the moon landing. Oh my god, dude. On Joe Rogan, Candace said her one true conspiracy was the moon landing being fake. Why? To what end? We went back 6 times. We went 6 times in 3 years. They've been sending more shit to the moon. Like, India just crashed a probe onto the moon. We got a ton of people going to the moon. What are you talking about?
We people on the moon?
Okay.
I'm asking
now
a
who's
serious
ignorant?
question. When did we go? When did we go
We
back to
first
people walking
landed-
on the moon?
Okay.
69.
I think a lot of people can verify at Valhalla Vidya. Like, like multiple places have been able to verify, you know, the stuff left behind on the moon because, you know, they left stuff behind on the moon that would be able to verify that they had been there.
Okay.
July 20th, 1969.
Yeah.
We went back like 10 more times.
Who went back? Who walked on the moon?
America. You know, the
No, but like, what were the astronauts' names? Educate me. Why?
fuck remembers what the astronauts' names were.
It's a pretty big deal to walk on the moon.
The first guy, and then after that, yes.
Who
then
else walked on it?
You can literally look up a Wikipedia list of people who walked on the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Pete Conrad, Alan Bean, Alan Shepard, Edgar Mitchell, David Scott, James Irwin, John Young, Charles Duke, Eugene Cernan, Harrison Schmidt. Like, come on. And hell, by the way, here are all the people who went to the moon but didn't land on it. Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, Bill Anders, Tom Stafford, Michael Collins, Dick Gordon, Jack Swigert, Fred Hayes, Stu Rusa, Al Warden, Ken Mattingly, Ron Evans. Literally 24 people.
I
How
don't
many?
remember the name. Like another dozen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Another dozen humans walked on the moon.
Yes, Americans. All Americans.
Okay, we don't remember.
We kept going back. Apollo 13 was the one they made the movie about. That was the one they aborted, but that was after we had landed. Apollo 11, I think, was.
I'm
the
not
one.
talking about space missions. I'm talking about actual people walking on the
Yes,
moon.
landing on the moon and walking on it.
Apollo 13, they landed on the moon. Didn't they? Wait, no, they didn't. I'm misremembering that. Apollo 13, they had to not land on the moon.
First of all, it is an impressive scientific feat. It's not out of the realm of like, how could that possibly happen? It's only 250,000 miles away. They had figured out enough to be able to do it, even with these shitty computers that they had in 1969. Yes, it's risky, and we did lose people doing it. But we did do it. I mean, plainly. I mean, the idea that you could think that this was some sort of hoax, I'm sorry, but it colors everything else.
I'm just saying
you
that,
would
like,
say.
I'm just not, like, I feel like you're just trying to find this one. Like, I've never talked about this on my show. You're literally talking about one funny tweet
It's
thread.
relevant.
It's really
It's
not that relevant.
that you won't say,
No, I just,
absolutely, people walked on the moon. It's relevant.
I feel that you are finding an angle here to try to talk about something that I've never talked about on my podcast. I've
Well,
never talked to people on a debate stage.
but it's
Never talked
out
about
there.
it
I
on
read
a
it.
college. You probably had a producer dig up what you thought were
There's
the
no
most absurd tweets. Like,
This-
there's no way it's out.
Candace,
Like, you're
I
saying it's
promise
out there.
you-
There's not even articles about this.
I
It's so
promise-
obscure that it's like literally. I mean, it said like, let's have some fun. What are some of the
Candace,
things that? What are some conspiracy?
okay.
Aw, she's genuinely a little sad that he's like not finding her moon denialism cute.
Theories that you read that you have questions about, and I was like, the moon landing.
First of all, I promise you, there is no production on this show.
Well,
no one is.
it's a pretty niche thing. Of
This
all
is-
the things I
this is
talk
the
about and I'm
production.
known for, like, there wasn't even an article written about this about me.
I wasn't planning to talk about
Yeah,
it.
so
but
it's like, how did you get here?
Because
You saw it on Twitter,
I got here. Somehow I knew it
but how?
because it's out there.
But it's
because
not.
I've
It's not
read
even in my Wikipedia. Like, it's so obscure. It's so niche.
You
that I'm
said it on Joe Rogan. It's not obscure and niche.
just like curious.
I
how,
don't think that's the case because I think I read it in the Vanity Fair article about you.
No.
No.
Nope.
Well, I
That's what
read
I mean.
it
It's not even relevant for like. I've never ever had a
Well,
single
then
person
I've
sit
done-
down and ask me this question.
Well,
So
then
I'm
I've
just
done
like,
America a service because
Okay.
we find the baseline of your thinking. I'm sorry, but that is relevant. That you don't think men landed on the moon.
no.
It's a-
I
it's
just
a-
said I would like. First off, what I specifically said was
You don't
I
know.
want to know why. And I think even Elon Musk said this in his timepiece.
Ask him about it.
Yeah,
ask him
I
about
think
the moon.
he did address it in his timepiece.
I think he
Man of
probably
the Year.
believes it
But I'm just
happened.
not interested in this topic like at all. So it's just like
Okay.
you just came in so fiery about.
Clearly you're not. Otherwise you could have just Googled up, hey, who landed on the moon? Instead of just being like, well, I don't know who landed on the moon, therefore people didn't land on the moon.
Something that I
I-
am not known for. That was like an
Okay.
obscure
I don't
tweet
want-
of like
I
it
don't
started
want-
with "Let's have some fun," and it was in a joking manner. And suddenly you're
Sorry.
like,
Okay.
"How
This
could
is
you
really
not believe the
painful.
moon landing?" And I'm
Well, I
like,
do
the
believe that.
energy is
Okay.
like a little.
My apologies. I don't
Just
want
like
this to be adversarial.
No, it was just
if we
surprising.
hadn't got on to global warming, I
well,
wouldn't
that's something
have,
that I actually
wouldn't
believe.
have thought
So I'm
the moon.
okay to have this topic.
No, but I connected it to that because it was like, okay. If
But I'm in the public sphere talking about that. I've had experts on my show talking
Okay.
about, like Gregory Weinstein talked about his book about the climate change hoax.
Okay.
I care deeply about that because of the implications and how the
Yeah. I honestly, denying that people went to the moon is like stage one of saying NASA is lying about climate change stuff. It is actually relevant to the conversation if she believes that NASA perpetrated one of the highest profile falsehoods in the history of the planet.
climate change hoax and the trillions of dollars that are basically disappearing for things like Paris Accord agreement. Like I'm very much on record in
Okay, but
a sincere
not
manner
to beat
talking
it,
about
not to
that.
beat a dead horse, but if you think the moon landing is a hoax, it colors my view of what you think of the global warming being a hoax.
Okay.
So let's get
I,
on
but
to,
I never said the moon landing is a hoax.
well, you
I
said
said
you did.
name one conspiracy theory
No,
that
no,
almost,
I asked you
that
point
almost
blank.
got you.
I
I said I
asked
don't
you-
know anything about. I don't know anything about. I can't
I
even
don't-
debate you. You're sitting here telling
but-
me that 12 men have gone to the moon since. I don't know anything about it, and so I keep a very.
Then why did you say you believe it?
I think that if there's one thing that people will say about me is I don't come into conversations about things.
If there's one thing people will say about me, Bill, is that I don't know anything about what I'm talking about.
I don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be an
But
expert
you're
on the
such a
moon landing.
but you're such a brilliant person.
But on
who's
things that I actually
who's
know,
read
so I'm
about
willing to.
but
I'm
what-
willing to because I don't care.
Would you read about
I
it?
literally don't. It's to me.
Would you
it's
read
Oh,
about it?
literally on Joe Rogan, she brought it up as part of her climate change denialism. Okay, yeah, literally she's saying it's not a part of the conversation, even though she herself has used it as part of the conversation on this same topic previously. Cool.
Inconsequential for the work that I do.
But
Yeah, I would. That's why I said fun thread. Tell me this. Like we were like, tell me what's one conspiracy theory that you believe that we can look into. I mean, we really should pull the tweet because it's weird that you're making this so severe as if I was like on a talk show debating the moon landing. And so what I'm saying is I've never cared about this topic.
Because it's an undebatable topic.
I'm
that
completely
you are
like if you
making
want
debatable.
to. I did make
You're making it
debatable.
debatable
I don't
by
think anyone watching this will think that I made this topic debatable. I think you've made this very debatable. All I told you was I
okay.
sent a funny tweet, and it's a pretty obscure
So
tweet
how's
that's
life
never
in Nash-
been
How's life in Nashville?
ever discussed before
How's life
today.
in Nashville? Nashville's real, right?
Nashville is a real place, and I love Nashville. It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was just in Austin, Texas,
Mhm.
and I feel like Austin and Nashville are the two places. Hey,
Okay, I thought he was going to mention something about the moon before it cut off, but nope. Oh my god. Yeah, Nashville isn't real. It's actually Nashville is actually, as we all know, outside of the Great Ice Wall. It's not real. The only reason we know about Nashville is because of radio waves that penetrate the wall. A message from the outside, but they are unaware of us.